What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm here to show you another vacuum in my collection, and yes, this is another Hoover Elite. I preached this once before and I'm going to preach it again. I'm a huge fan of Hoover Elite uprights. I always try and snatch one up whenever a good looking one comes across my path. And today I have found this rare gem of Hoover Elite history. Here I have a Hoover Elite 5.0 limited edition. For some of you who are probably looking at this design, you're probably thinking, well, it's just another Hoover Elite 350. And that you're right about. Because this hood design does bear similar style appearances to an older Hoover Elite 350 of the same era. But the one thing I do like about this over a traditional Elite 350 is that it has the much larger outer bag with the stair cleaning handle, which some Elite 350s came with it, but I've never actually ran across one. And there was another version of the Elite 5.0, but that one was basically the base version of the Elite 350 that didn't come with a headlight. It actually just came with a gray blank for where a headlight would have gone if it came with one. And that one was, I think, all white with a orange and gray stripe on the outer bag, which this one does have that. So let's give a walk through the machine. So basically the 5.0 on this basically means the amperage of the motor. So it's a 5 amp motor. This does have what Hoover claims a 2 carpet height adjustment system. That's actually not true. This actually has 3 carpet height adjustments. You see there's one notch here, another one there, in between the low and the high, and then another right here. So I don't know why Hoover thought this said this was a 2 carpet height adjustment system when in reality this has 3, which I leave it on the middle for the pile of my carpet. Does have brushed edge cleaning. So let's go ahead and flip it underneath to show you the underside. This originally came with a single row brush roll when I got it. And I do have the original brush roll with me, but I have taken it out mostly to preserve the life of it. Should I ever decide to sell this along the line sometime in my life. So this is actually a replacement that I just robbed from another Elite and threw in because I already have my Elite 350 that does come with a single row brush roll, and I wonder what it would be like to run a double row on one of these lower end 5 amp Elites. So it does fit nice. This is a newer style brush roll. As you can see, it's got the grooves right here inside the brush roll body. So basically it can fit later models that have the newer style bumper with the grooves in the bottom plate, which this one only has a single one right here. And there is actually another groove in the brush roll to fit that. I believe when Hoover went to this style of brush roll with the grooves, this is actually so they can come with longer bristles so they agitate a lot better, which this surprisingly has excellent agitation. And I even threw in a fresh new belt just for safe measures. Let's turn it to the side right here to show you the model number. This is Hoover model U4601-900. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 5 amps, bag type A. And for those of you who don't know how to serial date these mid to late 80s Hoovers and some of the 90s Hoovers and even up to the early to mid 2000s. The first 2 digits is actually the year this was made, and the 3rd and 4th digit is the year. So this was 04 of 91, so April of 1991, which the 1991 actually surprised me when I got this because this vacuum is about as old as one of my Hoover Elite 2s, which would be from the same time period. For household use only, made in the USA. One thing I love about these Hoovers, they're US made. Many people have badmouthed these because they're entirely made out of plastic, and yeah, I do see that as kind of a fail point if you abuse the vacuum. But if you use it just normal use and take care of it, then you should have no problems with it. And even though this is an all plastic made vacuum, just the fact it's made in the USA, you could easily tell how tough a machine these are compared to the newer Chinese junk that Hoover makes nowadays. And so let's go ahead and show you the inside of the bag. As you see, it's got the side zipper along the side. One fun fact is early versions of the Elite had the bag zipper on the right of the machine, but later on when they started adding onboard tools, it was eventually moved to the left, so it would clear the tool rack. But anyway, older ones came with the right side zip. As you can see, I have a genuine HEPA Type A bag. Filters out much better than even the genuine paper bags of the time. It also does improve your airflow and cleaning performance along the way. So right here is your cord. It's not the longest cord because this was a lower end machine. As you can see right here, to assure maximum performance, use only genuine Hoover filter bags, Type A. Well, now in this day and age, you can get them in HEPA configurations, so you have the best of the best. So now let's go ahead and release the cord. Plug that guy in. And let's go ahead and give this baby a run. And now here's the power switch right down here. Typical lower end Elite. It's hidden off to the side right here. And you can see the switch here is black. In the earlier days when Hoover had the gray plastic bodies on these Hoover Elites, they used basically a black power switch. In later years, if this was a black plastic body Elite, this switch would have been red. So just one little fun fact about these. So now let's go ahead and turn this baby on and let's hear it in all her screaming, overly loud Hoover glory. Oh, check this out. See that? It propels itself. Who needs self-propelled? And this is a fairly new brush roll that was put in. And you can tell just how strong the agitation is just from the fact that it pulls the vacuum along. Yeah, and you will notice I did replace the light when I got it. This does have an LED replacement. is a very pleasant vacuum to use. I will say these 5 amp motors, these are the smallest motors you can get in these Hoover Elites. And in my opinion, these things sound a lot more pleasant than any of the 7 amp counterparts, at least as far as noise is concerned. But cleaning performance, it has plenty of it. And before we end the video, I will show you this thing in tool use, but you're thinking, wait, this doesn't have a little trap door right here where you could stick a hose in it to use tools. How do you use tools on this thing if it doesn't come with it, let alone an onboard hose? Well, that's why I brought this out. I had this left over from my Hoover Elite 350, in which, by the way, I will link to the video of that vacuum so you can see. But what this is basically an attachment converter. Basically, how to get suction out of this, you stick it to the bottom plate of the vacuum head. See if I can get it on straight. And basically latch it down, put the vacuum back upright, and this is how you run your hose on one of these older Elites. And now you can use your hose. Now, one thing I would like to point out, don't expect miracle suction power. Because this is a direct air-based vacuum, the suction is pretty low. You have your extension wand right here. Just after you put it on, you just twist it. Twist this little rotary connection to lock it in place, or sort of. And then you do have your upholstery tool right here. So you just twist that to lock it in place. So you can do that to your extension wands and it stays in place rather than the old friction fit like they later went for uprights. But canisters actually still stuck with this style. And I believe you can actually get some canister attachments to fit on this because if you look closely, it has this little notch at the top of the vacuum head so that it can slide in and lock in place. So I'm not too sure whether that is true or not, but I imagine it is because some canister attachments have that little nub at the top so you can use attachments. So that suction you're hearing is mostly from the bottom plate. It doesn't really seal the best, I will tell you that, but that's the way you got attachments on these older Hoovers. And this also worked for some of the convertible vacuums and even some of the Concept 1s of the time. I'll admit, sometimes the attachments are a little bit hard to get out. Oh, and the latch just fell right off. But anyway, that's how you got attachments on the older 80s style Hoovers. Well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video of the Hoover Elite 5.0 Limited Edition. Be sure and stay tuned. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.